I'm John Robeson, and I'm here at Robeson Service with Austin Hatch, who spends his days in this shop with vintage Land Rovers and Rolls Royces. And this is one of them, the Murray Project, a early Silver Cloud. Austin, you want to go over what we've done on this car?
Yeah, starting at the front, we've rebuilt the seals in the ram here. It was leaking out of the front of it, so we took care of that.
Yeah, this was pouring onto the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it's got modern lines, but the seals were quite old in that car, right?
Yeah, the O-ring was really worn out.
And
we took it apart and rebuilt it.
We might also note that these horns have hit the road more than once, but those are original style horns.
Yeah, the ram has also taken a hit. There's a slight bend there as well, but nothing that's broken.
But that stuff's okay. It's okay to use.
We see it all the time.
And
we rebuilt the sway bar links here.
And didn't we do our ball joints too?
Yep.
You want to point those out for?
The ball joints are over here.
Yeah, okay, so.
We rebuilt all the joints here. This joint, all the steering joints.
All these across the car.
The innards.
And these, and also we might just point out those special vintage Rolls-Royce grease fittings.
Yeah, that's all these here.
All these fittings,
here.
all this stuff has been redone. You can see little
greased
drops of grease coming from them. And those brakes are all redone, right?
Yep.
We have pipes, hoses, and of course, parts inside the brakes.
Yep. We also rebuilt the master cylinders up here, both the lower and upper.
And also, of course, you've gotten to be expert on building and setting up the servos here, which run off the side of the transmission.
Yeah, very complicated but cool system.
And all these linkage rods. Of course, the rods go back here to the back. And back here, this linkage for the mechanical rear brakes, this is a really common trouble spot, isn't it, Austin?
Yeah, we often find that right here will really wiggle. And when you step on the brake, if it wiggles too much, that'll absorb the pedal. So you're not actually stepping on the brake until you absorb the wiggle.
Yeah, that's a real safety hazard in these. Another one is this new piping here. That's a thing. Again, it rots out, and you lose the hydraulic rear brakes.
We also did the bushings here. This bushing was completely gone. There was no rubber at all. We did this bushing. We did the leaf spring bushings.
Yeah, did all of that. And this is an interesting system on these cars, because these Clouds use a combination of mechanical rear brakes that'll work even if there's no brake fluid, but the primary braking front and back is hydraulic.
Yeah, and in fact, the hydraulics will not kick in until the mechanical linkage kicks in. That's why it's important that there's not any slack here.
Yeah, that's a big thing. You can see that this car is showing some surface rust, but no real chassis rot down here. The car is basically sound, although got a lot of bare metal. It's certainly, on any of these cars, you want to keep them off salted roads or out of bad weather. But we do have some exhaust problems to show, right?
Yeah, there's a couple of bad leaks here. The exhaust...
This is a kind of a homemade system on this car.
Yeah, it's especially evident here.
So you've got a MagnaFlow muffler. See that patchwork on the muffler?
There's a large leak up in this area, up in there.
Yeah, and look at that patchwork there. When we got this car, it really didn't run or drive well at all, and with all the work you've done, it's really driving nicely, yeah. And now that we've tuned the engine, it's running smoothly, you kind of can't miss the exhaust noise. When you stand next to it, you hear it spitting steadily, and of course that had been masked before by the general roughness of the thing. And that's, do we have anything else to show under this car, Austin, or ready to move to the top?
That's it for below.
All right, we
did the brake line running up against the frame here as well. I don't think we
yeah,
showed that. It runs all the way back there, all the way to the master cylinders up here.
Yep, that's another thing. And this is all very common work on these cars. So we're gonna stop here and we'll return with the top of the car.